Hello and welcome to the most active daily tickers in the US stock market, brought to you by Bootleg Macro. We're going to look at MULN stocks today. This is an automotive company, I believe. It is the most actively traded stock in the US stock market at the moment. The weekly chart looks grotesque. It has essentially been a waterfall from $10 at the end of 2021 all the way down to what appears to be, hopefully for the bag holders, a bottom here at what appears to be 11 cents. If we look at it on the daily, doesn't look much better. It just looks like you've had a much more up and close version of what is apparently a plane crash. But for a car company, I don't know what the prospects are, but it does look like somebody started to believe the hype very recently in the beginning of April. I do wish for everyone who's watching this video and participating in the stock that it does go up to 40 cents, goes up to $4, goes and makes everyone's dreams come true. Right now, it doesn't look very good. We look at the daily sentiment. It actually looks like it's bottomed. It did hit a low here of 33%, which is tough to do. It is all the way up at 42% on the daily. The weekly doesn't look great, but it does look slightly bullish. I'll give it that. It is already up at 53%. When we think about bullish price action, it's above 50%, which is better than it was doing when it was back in December, back in September, back in May, and back in March of last year. So we do see positive developments. When we look at the volume, no shocker here. It's essentially gone from no volume whatsoever to the most volume that exists in the entire stock market. In the past week, it looks like it traded over 2.3 billion shares. That's a ton. But when you think about the fact that it keeps going down to about 11 cents, it's not really that much money, but it is positive to see. We do see on the daily a lot of volatility in the volume itself. We do see what looks like a hockey stick almost of volume. If you coincide that with some sort of bullish move, that could be a bottom. That could be a very positive sign longer term, which would be good. We can look here at the volatility. Volatility is a little wonky just because, again, when the price is so low, the volatility can get really aggressive to certain swings. The volatility here is, it looks like high, but falling, while the correlation is rising. So if volatility is falling while correlation is rising, the price will fall on the daily. On the weekly, it looks like we have volatility that has been falling for quite a while, since the middle of March of 2022. In my opinion, when you start to see volatility falling like this and it starts to trend lower, that is generally when you're going to see the true trend come out in price. So drum roll, please, let me guess. Yep, since about that time in, it looks like March of 2022, it's essentially been nothing but a downward slide. That's unfortunate for everybody who's holding this. Again, I pray that it goes to the stars and the moon. Take a rocket with you. When we look at it on the weekly non-sentiment trade range here, it looks a little weird, and that's to be expected. It probably has done either a reverse split, probably a reverse split, or maybe it did some splits, maybe it did some offerings. I'm not sure, but the price and the volatility of the price here in the range looks very odd, especially on the weekly. So on the daily, it probably is going to look a little bit more normal. One of the things that is positive is it looks like the bottom here is potentially 5 cents. The top could be 25 cents. So this has just been a very quick review of MULN, the automotive stock, which is in the stock market and the most actively traded stock in the market. And I do feel for everyone, just by the way. I have traded penny stocks. I have been down that path. It is not for me, so I wish you nothing but the best. God bless, and leave your comments below if you have any comments or questions.